So 1 second. It seems to be that we leak. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Let's see.
Yeah, so I think somebody else line is messing up. You got hearing the noise in the
Yeah,
background. So somebody else.
this it is sort of where was system trickery a little bit, and that helps. But I think we are good now. Go ahead. For those of you that are
Yes,
still on, please mute your phone. Other than that, we just have no alternative to turn you off. I have only 3% here, so let us see we can keep it quiet. 346 number. We're having some technical problem, but hopefully that have been taken care of. Yeah, go ahead.
yes. So so we see that it's a political rift at a high level in the for the party and also for the ruling establishment
Hmm.
because the president is ruling without his vice president full weight and backing. So
But
that alone is enough for the
Terry,
entire.
let me ask you. You said the vice president, her decision, the president going to be tough on her. So, what specifically are you talking about? What did the vice president do? Are you talking about the statement coming from MPP Siri Allen or actions by the pro tem of the committee, where she says she needs to be respected? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I'm referring to her own interview by that journalist.
But
I
you
forgot
mean
his
her
name.
interview with Rodney Sia? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we're running here. The interview we're running here. All right.
Uh-huh.
I understand that Cyril Allen made some statements. I understand that other guys spoke, which also is a it was viable. It's important too for the party, and they did the right thing to come out and present their position. But you and I know that our man Beku is not a man who is interested in order, especially being the president. He controls the order of the day. So, from Cyril Allen and looking at the record of the
Why is
past,
the
I think it's
president
not
always
clever
labeled? Listen, I want to know here why the president is always labeled as somebody who controls the order of the day.
because that is how his people present him. Everybody is afraid of the guy.
No, how do you
People
present it? You
don't.
say that's how the people present it, but how do you? Is that how you see it happening as well? Yes. So it's this question. I know he's the elephant in the room, but let us be
Yeah.
fine here. Let us also know here there are separate branches of government, and especially where the oppositions they are in majority in the House. The 103, they are in majority and they allow things to happen. Then I wonder who they are and how are they representing their political institution when they are there to provide check and balances on the executive branch of government. If they are not doing that, then do you still want to blame George? We are president. We are for that.
Yeah, we cannot. That is the reason why I said from the initial statements or so that I did not support the protest because the protest we knew that it was going to yield no adequate result
Mm.
because the manner in which it was taken was the wrong way. We believe that the pressure should be mounted on the both houses. Once the both houses can put their act together, the president will come to order.
Mm.
But once those things are not taking place because the president used little bit of money to bribe them
How
to
do
close the
you know?
door,
Where do you come from? Little bit of money. Where do you get your
but
information from?
because they are silent. So silent means consent. If you can't talk, you see all the kind of thing going on. You
So the
listen to
definitions
different
of being
voice.
silent, cash is involved. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I want to believe. That's the only
That's what
way
you
I
want to
can
believe.
I
So
can
that's a
throw my bet on that.
circumstantial. That's a circumstantial sort of theory or the evidence you're talking. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see whether somebody get a contrary view here, because okay, Mr. Samba, Aliyu.
Yeah.
Okay, before Aliyu come, Terry, let me just bring you. Let me just ask a simple one little question. I will come to 346 as well here. You said so. You saying here you are making predictions. The interview by the vice president is damaging, and more maybe perhaps she will not be part of the coalition ticket on the CDC. It comes maybe 2023. Is that the conclusion you are reaching to?
Yes, and I want to believe that things will get tougher for her. Why? Because the president, I believe, is a man who likes praises and he likes for people to submit to him in disguise. Once you come out to expose him, it makes it difficult for him to work with you. That
Oh,
is the kind of person I have observed.
okay, all right, hold
So
on.
that is my position.
Okay, that's your positions and that's your views and opinions, and that's what we do. We'll facilitate these conversations that you will be able to have your own voice. So, Mr. Samba, let me just bring you in here. You listen to my friend and brother Terry's analysis with respect to what is unfolding. The vice president positions, and maybe the positions coming from the chairman emeritus of the National Patriotic Party. Is the vice president in trouble?
First of all, let me give her a prop to say the audacity of courage. The audacity of courage. I think every person must have the right, the free will to express their dissatisfaction and their grievances. Now, the logic within their exposés are the ones that we as critical people will analyze. The vice president did the best thing by coming out and expressing how she feels. And I enjoyed the brother speaking his mind, and I think that's why we're here. I think that's why Alfonso created this show in the first place.
Right.
We must respect that. Is Joe Howard-Taylor in trouble? I wouldn't see it as her being in trouble. Is Mr. Cyril Allen's opinion is as relevant as many people think? I say absolutely not. You know, the only color that really doesn't wear out is gray, for the most part. But any other color, when used intensively, it wears out. Cyril Allen is not gray. You know, Cyril Allen, momentum, and all of those things have weared out. What can Cyril Allen do for Liberia? What can Cyril Allen do in the international community? Who is Cyril Allen? A stereotypical individual. So we're looking at some other things.
So are you saying, so Mr. Samba, hold on one second. Are you saying Cyril Allen is no voice? He does not have an impact, or is he trying to seek some political attention here? Is that right? Is that your calculation?
No, I wouldn't say he is seeking political attention. I would say he is still in over his head, given that at one point he was an all-powerful political party chairman. The Liberia that we live in today is a diaspora Liberia. Anybody who is not influential outside of Liberia is a nobody. And Cyril Allen is only powerful in NPP. So Cyril Allen's stuff, I don't want people giving too much credence to it because that's making him big for nothing. He's not. But Joe Howard-Taylor, my brother Alfonso, she's not in trouble at all. Joe Howard-Taylor did the calculations. She understood the ramifications of her coming up in such a manner. But I want to dismiss my brother's view that George Weah would go after Joe Howard-Taylor or he would never reconcile with Joe Howard-Taylor. George Weah as an individual have never gone after Joe Howard-Taylor. Might be people within his entourage that have gone against Joe Howard-Taylor. The problem with George Weah in that instance is that George Weah have not said anything about it. You understand what I'm saying? But the best thing Joe Howard-Taylor can do for herself is for her to resign. You see, people are misleading. People say somebody's misleading George Weah. But people are misleading Joe Howard-Taylor.
To resign as vice president?
Yes, she needs to resign. It will be the best thing in her favor because people are telling Joe Howard-Taylor that she has to get certain recognition from the president. She has to be given certain authority by the president. People are imposing these ideas onto her, forgetting to know that it's only within the president's power to do these things. Look, we've had a series of vice presidents. We had a very competent PhD vice president, Dr. Harry, for my money back. Samuel Doe, being limited academic-wise, ran the show. Mr. Moneybar, being the educational scholar, knew that it was not in his place to bring the president to any kind of reality check. So what he did was operate within the confines of his legal premise. The same thing is happening in the United States with a very qualified man who is more qualified than the president, but he stays in his lane unless he's called upon. And until Joe Howard sees things in those fashion, and she's continuously told that she can make these people respect her, she can make these people do this, that, and the other, she'll be making a mistake. Mark Pompeo in the United States has more power than the Vice President of the United States of America, and that's because that's what Donald Trump wants.
Yes.
So the Vice President can stay quietly in her land, and she will enjoy her function. She will enjoy her duty. I think she can rather cajole Mr. President to get it what she want to get in a manner in which that will amplify her good heart. But realistically speaking, the Vice President does not have a good heart. The Vice President is a very mean and very selfish woman. Let's go back to her history, her track history. When you say, Brother So, that you met with the Vice President and you can tell that she was a politician, hey, she's eloquent. Yeah, she's well traveled. Yeah, the woman is educated. But those are not the only prerequisites to a good leader. A good leader is someone who has passion towards the people they're going to lead. A good leader is somebody who is willing to give everything to others for the most part. Joanna Taylor wants everything for herself. Check her in the days of Charles Taylor. Joanna Taylor was such a good woman, such a powerful woman. And I want to come into this point to address your point as to whether CDC made a mistake by choosing Joanna Taylor or whether if it was a miscalculation and it was done in desperation. And that's the point I'm coming to. NPP has a barrage of former fighters. It is estimated at about 25 to 45,000 of Liberian, of the fighting force in Liberia during the war was from the NPFL.
Mm.
And at the time of the 2017 election, these young kids between the ages of 12, 16, whatsoever had matured enough to make up the electoral population.
Okay.
So Chancellor has gone to jail.
Mm.
Who is there? Sierra Leone is not as big as it should be. Okay, we will bring the NPP closer. And most of these boys really love Charles Taylor. These are the same people who say, kill my mom, kill my pa, I will vote for you. So if we bring Joe Howard Taylor, who is a blood exchanged member of the Charles Taylor family, we can have these people in our corporate. We can have these people in our camp.
Mm.
So was she used? Definitely she was used.
Okay, so Mr. Samba, let me just hold you here. Let us have a fair game yet, and I will go further. Your statement, the best thing for the Vice President to do to resign. I don't know whether that's the inside talk now within the ruling establishment. We're yet to see that. But let me bring in this number here, 346 number here, 3746. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Catherine Dava, and I'm calling from Texas.
Okay, Mr. Dabbat, good evening, and good that you're here with us. Thank you for taking your Saturday evening to share your thoughts with us. Okay, you listened to the last two speakers. One saying the Vice President is in problem, the other one saying the Vice President, best is the Vice President to resign. They're quite fascinating and interesting. So let me get your view as well. All the Vice President and MPP is saying, speaking out here, say, look, we were all part of the coalition. So all of us get us to the finishing line to this political maritime in 2017. And so we all work hard to get this victory to be part of the ruling establishment. And they are just only arguing that the Vice President often needs respect and must be respected. So, what's your view? Should the Vice President resign, or do you think that's the end of a political career?
Mr. So, thank you again for giving me your audience, and thanks to your two previous callers. While it is true that I will want to agree with both previous callers on the Vice President being in trouble and the Vice President should resign, I will also want to say that.
So why is she? So no, I hate to interrupt people. So why is she resigning? For what?
All right. Like the first caller told you, sometimes people see George Weah as the best man when it comes to, you know, some of these things. I can tell you one thing:
People
George Weah
see
is not a
George Weah. How do you see George Weah?
George Weah is not a reconciler. George Opon Weah is not a reconciler, and I can assure you that just from the crossword I was having between he and his vice president. Mr. So you listen to the vice president when she told you that from the onset, from the very first, this government has been in office for 2 years. This vice president is telling that for the past 2 years, she has not received a benefit adequately. That tells you that CDC only used the vice president to get her vote. Because CDC could not have won this election without Madam Taylor. I can assure you that for sure. If Joao Taylor had not come on board, CDC would have never won this election. That's a sure case. And so they only use her, use the NPP to get their vote. And now that their mission was accomplished, they decided to go their way. Let's do our normal thing. When she gets angry, she will leave. If she wants to stay, we'll continue treating her the way we are treating her. You know? Which is not right. In a political game, when you have a merger, treat your colleagues right. Merger is not something that another person is begging you for.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that we both brought to the table. You brought yours and I brought mine. So why can't I get my equal share of what I brought to the table? But instead, you made it look like I am begging for something. The vice president is not begging for something. She's asking for what is her just right, her benefit. You know?
Mm.
What is her benefit? And Judge Rihanna, who is not a reconciler, now that the vice president has come out to have said these things.
Mm. So what do you want the president to do? To come and to give a rebuttal to the vice president? Is that why you want the president? If you were president of the Republic of Liberia, is that how you're going to do yours?
He shouldn't just.
Don't you think if she did that, if he the president does that, don't you think we have to exacerbate the already problem on the ground?
Exactly. Giving a rebuttal, in my mind, we have to exacerbate, like you said. Let's take for example.
So then, why are you trying to indict the president on that?
Okay. Before the president gave his speech this gone Monday, right?
Right.
After the vice president came and said these things, you know what the president did? The president set up 2 of his ministers to go and meet the vice president to talk to her to attend the program. This president who went to the speech and told her that
you don't see that as conciliatory? You don't see that as conciliatory for the president to designate?
He was pretending. In that case, what in my mind, what the president should have done was, this is your vice president. What big is it take if you really want to reconcile, to drive to her on that day and say, oh, Madam VP, I am your guest. That alone will have built the confidence.
Oh my goodness.
That
Okay.
in itself would have built the confidence, you know, before coming to giving your speech. But then you and the vice president are still having this qualm, and then you go to make such a speech and tell people that you are the feminist in chief. That's a complete contradiction, Mr. So.
I think the only thing here, and I'm going to bring in 6, 7, 8 yet. My only observation, and I'm still going through the speech yet, I just didn't remember the president calling her full name. That's why my only concern. But if the president designated 2 close cabinet ministers, remember, there was also in the heck of attention. So, I mean, come on. At least he sends somebody. That's a good attempt. But let me get a different descendant view on this yet. 678 number here, 2829. He doesn't hold back. He's one of the punchers. He says it as it is in a very good faction here. Let me bring in Mr. Pa George. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay, so it seems to.
Aliyu now.
Yeah. Well, Aliyu, don't hold on there. Don't George. Pa George is not coming at you. I don't know why you're feared, but Pa George, you listen to these. You listen to these gentlemen here, And it seems to be a divided house here this evening on LPR. One saying that the vice president political career is over. Someone saying that the vice president should resign. Someone saying the president should have gone there, even though the president selected an emissary, 2 cabinet ministers to have gone there to intervene for the vice president to attend the state affairs, which of course the vice president did. That suggests to me that something was neutralized. So let me get to your stand here. Where do you stand with these 3 gentlemen?
So the vice president should not resign. And let me say this. The treatment that the vice president is receiving is approved by and sanctioned by George Weah.
Wow. So if I were to select a court here this evening yet, I don't think the president going to survive it, because it seems to be that everybody here everybody here is placing an indictment on the president. Okay, go ahead. Reason.
Adjudication.
Now, Mr. So and the panel, here's the issue here. George Weah is playing the bad cop and good cops. He tells the boys, go and tell anything, treat her anyway. If anything, and she'll come back to me here. If I say anything, what will happen? This is what he's doing. Minister disrespect the vice president. Radio personality from CDC respect the vice president.
Yeah, disrespect the vice president.
The president doesn't say a word. He takes function that were allotted to her. He took some of those functions from her. Who will you blame? You think if an assistant minister go and insult a minister, and the president doesn't say a word to that minister or punish the assistant minister, what is the measure he's sending? Look at what happened. Why this guy resigned? Gregory Coleman. And the assistant director, I think deputy director, attacked this guy. The president go say he suspended the man, but he brought the man back, never even talked to the man. Gregory Coleman had to resign. So when you see the disrespect in the government, they are treating certain government officials like this. It's the president who gave it the courage. He sanctioned the action. Because there's no way the Minister of Finance, you know it and I know it, the Minister of Finance will not pay the vice president benefit. No way. You don't think the vice now if she had the authority or somebody.
Hold on 1 second. Somebody is on the line here. Please, your background kids talking. Please, please do all favors. Just have your phone muted until there are other folks outside there listening, and that can be kind of annoying. And somebody is talking and you having other those cross talking. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Pa George.
Yeah, the minister, the vice president is paralyzed. She cannot summon any of these guys to her office because they take order directly from George Weah. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is how they got into this political arrangement. 2 consecutive elections, George Weah could not win Bond County. And knowing Bond County is the 3rd populated county in Liberia, he could not win Bond County. So what he did was to pick Joel Howard Taylor. Was to pick her and say, okay, you know what happened? The only way we can win this country is to take someone from this country. So they went and took Joel Howard. And with the population of the NPFL, all the former rebels, they are loyal to the NPFL, just how George Weah see this sedition are loyal to this sedition. So they pick her. And definitely what happened? She developed Bond County.
I will be tempted to move. I don't know who is the person here. I just don't like that. Somebody is, I don't like for the just to suffer with the unjust. But somebody is
watching TV.
Yeah. People, I mean, that's just annoying. And that would be making us to just keep maybe one person at a time. Then we know exactly what the process is. Okay, go ahead, Pa George.
So they did that calculation and took Joel because they knew that she can develop Bond County. Now they won the election. What happened from their own mother? the chairman of the party. But before that, there was a guy on the scene, I think the Sherry guy. Last year said that Joel Howard, that he had witness to prove that Joel Howard wanted to assassinate the president. Nobody called this guy to ask him. Mobile Malu says nothing, the person went and sanctioned it. His conviction, again, how they were plotting against Joel Howard Taylor, the former superintendent of Bond County, that audio came up. They wanted to suspend her. What was the outcome of the investigation? No, it died down because who were involved? Nantaya Mange, Samuel Toure, and Jefferson Kochi. So it died down. So when you look at all this happening, when you package it together, you will deduce that George Weah is the one that's sanctioning this action. What he want to do, he want to frustrate this woman to say, okay, we frustrate, she will resign by herself. Because he know he can't fire her. Because the two are elected on the same ticket, so he can't fire her.
Okay, so before I bring this person, I know the person being on here. So do you see the president still thinking that way, Pa George?
Yes. Joel Weah calculation is for Joel Howard Taylor to resign. That's his calculation.
Okay, you want Dr. Weah calculation for Joel Howard Taylor to resign. I do not know the future political ramifications, especially a party that will be seeking re-election. We're going to come to that second phase here, but let me get 267 number 5983 reaction. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Pastor, how you doing, Loli?
All right, good. How are you today?
I'm fine. Listen, Pastor, it is very sad in our life history in the great Republic of Liberia for our vice president and president not to speak or not to be in good rapport last year up to last month, the 27th. And let me give you very good scenarios that all Liberians who listening on your show to observe and learn from out of it. You see, in 1957, something happened between the Nima County people and the Granjudian. I think you are aware of that. 1957 or 1955, something like that. As a good leader, like President William V.S. Tubman, what he did, William V.S. Tubman did not send his vice president then. He did not send anybody, the speaker at that time. President Tubman called all the elders, the chiefs, and the zoo, those decent paramount chiefs, clan chiefs, zone chiefs, from Nimba, from Grand Judah, they sat down together and said, I send for you. You know what President Tubman met these people? He met them right on his farm, and they went to Monrovia. And he started and said, from today, I don't want the Northerner and the Southeasterner to have any problem between one another again. And as of today, I want my two countries to be together. Tubman said that thing, and Tubman led us for 27 unbroken years. Nobody is against this president. Nobody, no Liberian. Not one Liberian. If any Liberian say they are against George Weah, then that person is not from Liberia. This is the reason why I'm saying it. The reason then is this. President Weah, Dr. Weah took Liberia and put Liberia on the international map. But Dr. Weah, because of those he surrounded himself with, make us what we are saying today behind him, singing this song every day. Not that he lack of leadership. No, I don't think so. But those that he surrounded himself with, make it that we are to be, for us to call that we are. We who are advocating to call that we are a name that he lack of leadership.
Okay.
You heard from the party chairman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You heard from the party chairman, Moluba Molu. He made it clear. He made it clear, Efanso Lodi. He made it clear. If that's in this country, Moluba Molu will be bad.
No, he will. They can't just throw you that's a banana report. Okay.
Yes.
So
they will investigate him. But he saying the president can leave and go look for money around, and he will tell the finance minister, say, look, my man, I look for the money. I will take some. Those allegations is a heavy crime against the state. 3, if I, Burr, was the president, I will visit the vice president on her birthday. My girl, you say, what happened? You say, what happened here? I know you met with me. What really happened here, man? Look, you're not saying happy birthday son to the vice president. How that woman was going to feel? She was going to feel overjoyed. Loli, she was going to feel overjoyed.
Okay, hold on 1 sec.
They have taught a woman a very bad lesson when she come. What if? Because the vice president has the power in the upper parliament, has the power to confirm, or no, not have the power to bring any nominee to the floor to say, okay, this person, I will bring in this case.
Okay,
today.
so the bottom line question here, before I go to the next person here, there are a few things being tossed around here by some of my participants and callers here. Some saying the vice president not being viable, the vice president should resign, the vice president best thing to do, the vice president will not make it. So do you still see this vibe? What is the political ramifications? Is people that are suggesting that she should resign, or maybe the CDC coalition will not go with her?
The vice president still has the momentum in the Republic of Liberia. I know other people are against Joe, but during Joe days, when Charles Taylor was in power, that woman did a lot of things.
But Charles Taylor not there now, man. So
yeah, Charles Taylor is not there. Joshua is there. Joa will never ever resign her post as a vice president.
I think the questions of her resigning that time has passed. So hold on, let me just hold on.
I come in, brother.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Let me just bring in the other person quick.
Why they tormenting this woman? People, the people who went to Dr. Weir, telling Dr. Weir, say, oh, this woman wants to be president. She wants to run. She wants to run. And for Dr. Weir to say.
That one, it doesn't make sense. Joel announced her ambition at some point in time to run for the higher office or to be the president of the Republic of Liberia before that political union came to place. So if people want to use that, then I just don't know. Perhaps then they were not listening to her at the time. So
listen on campus interview or interrogation.
Okay, hold on. Let me come. All right, let me bring in the person.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me bring in it so that people will all have an equal share. 862 number 6663. Call it good evening. Dr. Mariah Seaton, good evening and welcome to this broadcast. Are you there, caller? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from New Jersey. My name is James Momo.
Okay, Mr. Momo, help me out here, if you will. You being in this thing here. It seems to be people are making an educated guess here that is the vice president has reached a Waterloo in her political career. There's no sound or symptoms. I'm not saying anything here, but help me out here. You from the garden said it. Let's see here. What maybe Chris Crystal, you have talked to him, the former attorney of your place here. Do you see it that way? Can we rule out the vice president, Joy Howard Taylor, into this whole political discourse at this point in time? Because she's coming back and she's taking control now. trying to get her authority in your hand. The pro tem make an appointment, and it says saying it's not with her consent, and I putting hold on it now. So what is the deal?
Well, it's just unfortunate that the analysis most of the participants are giving, I consider it very faulty. There's no reason why Jewel should resign, all right? And what is also unfortunate is that George Weah he has failed to understand the definition of collaborating parties, all right? If George Weah had not brought Joel Howard Taylor, Prince Johnson on board, he was not going to win. And the fights are there. All right? George Weah bases Maserati County, and even Maserati County could be divided. So it means that because George Weah saw the impossibility of him becoming president after 2 or 3 attempts, that's why the whole collaboration part of business came about. So, but what is so sad is that now Joel has been treated like she's just insignificant. She did not contribute to the CDC winning. That's the saddest part of it. Joel should not resign. Joel is supposed to stay there as vice president until the 2023 election and see what happens next. Because look, Mr. Swore, when you look at the political arrangement in our country, all these things we're talking about, the people like George Weah, who really, to be honest with you, who really know George Weah? When the Maserati County and West Point, Ghanansville, Gibraltar. I mean, we all knows this. I don't understand why Liberian people stay sitting here talking about, the people, Liberian people did no job. No. Because of the collaboration. I'm saying it again. Because of the collaboration. That's what made George Weah president of Liberia today. Without collaboration, he was never going to win.
Okay, so let me get a reaction from people here. Some of the concerns. We also value the opinions and views of our onliners participant. Randy Terra is saying she can't resign and vote 2023. She can make her case to the Liberian people. Is that a workable political strategy if she was to go in that direction? Okay, I resigned. I do not want to be like she alluded in her interview, right? I do not want to be like a pack person. I've never been that way. I was very forceful. I was very active. I was engaging. I helped the Helen Johnson Sirleaf's government. I did not see this coming. Trying to paraphrase and put in some words that for her, based on what Randy is saying. So if the vice president were to take that sort of political and risky decision today, I'm stepping down, and then subsequently say I'm going to be contesting for 2023. Is that a hair-scratching issue, or is that a good political strategy on the part of the vice president if she was to do that?
No, the timing is just wrong. She cannot. The time is too early. We still have 2023 far away. Joel Howard Taylor should stay there as vice president and continue to work as a vice president. Joel Howard Taylor is educated. She's smart. She's one of the brightest women in our country. So there's no reason why she can even contest. If Joel Howard Taylor were president of Liberia, things are happening that may not probably happen. I mean, these are just facts. But the thing here is that George Weah lacks vision. You know, George Weah lacks vision. George Weah lacks leadership. You know, and just unfortunate that George Weah can't even realize that it was through Joel Howard Taylor and Prince Johnson that he became president of Liberia. Maserati County was never going to party for him.
So is that fair to say it? Because from what I try to sense out from most of my callers here this evening, it appears to me that this union will no longer hold. Listen to the statement from Cyril Allen, and that seems to be why you guys are re-echoing, and we all know that, and we have said that from time to time. So nobody really knows it, but the fact that all of them put together, they emerge as coalition, you can say it. This one is not viable. They all help in that direction to get them where they are.
They are today.
Exactly. So, do you think Joel Howard Taylor will, with all these Rackmaro, what I settle is not settled? I just do not know that yet to get that sort of confirmation. Do you think she will go on the secondary, or do you think Dr. Weah or the CDC government will incorporate her in comes 2023?
Well, that's a very good question you're asking, Mr. Sewell. and here's the point. look, we are feels that, or the CDC feels that the momentum they had during the election, they still have that momentum today. And that's not just a fallacy. That's a fallacy. We are came to power, things not working. They are just,
You see, that's a
when
complete illusion. If that's what the CDC
You
or they are thinking, or the CDC is thinking about, to think a couple of years ago, we still the saint, we are still the country giant, we still owns the town.
Yeah, that's how they are thinking. And again, it's just sad because look, Mr. Sewell, the environment in Liberia today, it cannot even accommodate what George Weah is. It can't. It's Monrovia or Liberia is politically charged. I'm telling you, because George Weah have been standing on the fence as a Boko man in our country, that he could just change Liberia overnight. France are going to develop Liberia in 60 days. Those are the perception he gave the Liberian people. Now the Liberian people are getting to know that this guy, he bidding for the 9,000 in less than 2 years. He got a plane. I mean, he got everything everywhere. And so now the Liberian people now know who George Weah is.
Okay. All right.
Greed,
I think the line is bossing. The line is bossing here to accommodate new callers, so the people can feel. No, hold on. I will come to you. Yeah, go ahead quickly. Then I will before I want to go through the lines to make their closing statements.
Yeah. Let me just conclude, Mr. Sewell. On a serious note, Joel should not resign, and I think we should be able to get back to Joel, try to reconsolidate this union, so that people can feel the sense of security in our country. You cannot have a country where the vice president are not speaking.
No, I just don't endorse that. That's not a good thing. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be going to these lines here to accommodate other people that are calling here. Let me start with Aliyu. Mr. Samba.
Yeah.
You are vehemently argued effectively, the positions of this government here. Is it too late for reconciliation? George Weah, President George Weah, and that of Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. Is it too late to get on the reconciliatory table to say, hey, you know what? The last 2 years, it was desperate, it was ugly. Let us not shift blame. There didn't be no blame game. Let us start at fresh and let us see how we can move this country. I do not want to see my country, the president and vice president, in disagreement where they can talk, where they can coordinate to get the work of the country done. Is it too late? 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. First of all, let me say thank you to the last caller, for his passionate comment. But we're living in a realistic world. Sentiment can't cut it. It has to be real. I cannot tell you that it's too early or it's too late for reconciliation because we're not having a reconciliatory problem in Liberia. The president has exhibited in every front that he is at peace with everybody. Anybody who feels that they are not at peace with him, he is willing to listen to them. In this case, this whole thing is politically motivated.
By whom?
The president, by whoever Joe Howard Taylor supporters are. The president have said it clearly that Joe Howard Taylor received her benefit up to December. Okay, we have people from Water and Sewer, the Electricity Corporation, other people who had not gotten paid around that time for nearly 6 months. Joe Howard Taylor was out of pay in less than 1 month, the month of January, and she blew all of these things. But let me dismiss the myth that the whole of Liberia is politically charged. Whoever made such statement has not been to Liberia in a while. Liberia's political interest is basically in the Moserado County area and cities like Kakata City, Tubmanburg City, and in some cases, Banga City. When you go in rural Liberia, people are living peacefully. When you go in rural Liberia, people are living their normal lives. Okay, it is the people who have a mindset of being in urban areas.
Okay, let's wrap it up. You can call. You can have a re-entry.
They are the ones in these situations.
Yeah, I say you can have a re-entry. I want to wrap with meeting within 30 seconds to bring in other people here. There are other things here. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sambat. Don't call back. There are some other things here. Okay, 346 number 3474. Caller, is it too late? I'm going to roll this questions along the way. Is it too late for the both to reconcile, to sit and let it go? But I want to welcome my veteran journalist. I see him as one of my mentors, Mr. James Gomiant, formerly of the State Radio, is now in the USA base in New Jersey. So 346 number, go ahead. Is it too late?
Mr. So, I can tell you that reconciliation is never too late. Even at the last day, people can reconcile. But depending on the person you are dealing with when it comes to reconciliation, I can tell you my best bet for Madam Taylor is for her to resign. George Weah is not a reconciler. I told you from the inception. George Upon Weah is not a reconciler. Madam Taylor is going to be commented continuously, and George Weah will say nothing about it. Or staying in that collaboration, guess what they're going to do to her? At the 11th hour, we are about to go to the election. That is when they will come back, pretend that they want to reconcile because they want her vote. So the best thing for her, in my view, is for her to resign because George Weah is not going to reconcile with her under no condition.
Okay.
George Weah have friends, personal friends.
So let's assume here for discussion. Okay, let's assume here for discussion purposes, kicking Howard Taylor off the ballot 2023. What is the alternative that you have in place?
For CDC?
Yeah.
That's up to them. They can decide. I mean, they know who they want to put in the place.
Okay. I thought maybe you have somebody.
I just want the best for her.
Oh, okay. I thought you get somebody in mind. All right. Thank you so much.
And for the country Liberia, so that we can move forward.
Okay. Maybe let's say for the country Liberia. So let's forget about Dr. Weah because he seems to be the elephant in the room here. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So at Lady T, I'm having my folks here from New Jersey, from the Pepper City. Good evening and welcome, Felicia Gallo. Thank you for joining us, and all of the other folks are going to be try to give recognition little by little. So, Pa George, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what are going to be a race car here this evening here. Everybody is rooting out from your kingswoman from Bone County that she should resign. She's no more significance to the CDC. What is the political implication? If the CDC-led government of George Weah idea is no good if the dust doesn't settle before 2023, what is the danger? I'm not sure what people are thinking about the danger or the repercussions if they decided to go in that direction. So if you were advising Joy Howard Taylor this evening, what would be the best suggestion for her?
I would tell Joy Howard Taylor not to resign. Let President Weah take her to the Liberian people. That 2023 will drop her from our ticket. But if she resigns, she'll be committed political suicide because she will not have no case to make. Because Joe will say, I didn't tell her to resign. We didn't ask her to resign. She resigned by herself. So I can't force someone to work with me.
She speaks her mind already. So what's the point of her to resign?
That's why I said she should not resign.
And I think people should give her courage because she alluded at some point in time, it registered in her mind. And there was a really huge intervention because this government was in her young infancy and she didn't do that. So I don't understand why people now should say that she should resign.
Yeah, that's everybody got to take, that people perception. But in politics, there are certain things you don't just do. During the election, the first round, George Weah did not win 40% of the election. The first round, he didn't win 40%. He did not win 40%. He did not win 40%. So the people who are seeing that George Weah is so powerful and popular that he can just dash Joy Howard Taylor, and with the next election, when he contests, he will have a landslide victory. Then let us see it. But I was strongly suggest, even though I got my disagreement with Joy Howard Taylor, but I was strongly suggest that she should not resign. Let she take it to 2023.
All right.
And let her go to the convention and ask her to leave.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to be coming to caller for those of you that come in. I'm going to be coming to your 267 number 5983. Are you there? For those of you on,
Yeah,
please load.
Apostle, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, okay, 30 seconds before I bring in my next caller. For those of you that
Okay,
came
thank
in,
you
just
very much, Apostle. Alpha, the damage control has happened already.
hold on one
And
second,
one,
yeah. Hold on 1 second. 203 and 267 number, please lower your monitor. Those of you that are listening, you're doing multiple things, buzzing my eardrum as well. For those of you that are 203 and 267 number, please lower your monitors. 2670071. Okay, go ahead.
You see, the damage control have happened already. I want Joel to remain until 2023. 2023 will speak for itself. President Weir is done.
He's what?
It's done. I don't want. He is done.
Why?
He's
Why?
not going nowhere. 2023.
What?
Yeah, he is done. He is.
How you come to that
done.
conclusion?
I said it before on Sekou Shore when I got his first step in. Okay, Pastor, I'll call you back later, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. To say he's done, I want to know how you come to it. Okay, let me go to the constitutional state here. Let's factor in the constitution here and some of the legality that involve and some of these people to theory that they are projecting here this evening. 203 number 9037. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Good evening.
So how you doing today?
Good. Just lower your monitor. That do me a favor because there are two of us here now, so I can come to a conclusion that you have it too. Because okay. So, do you have a chance to listen to my last speakers, the folks that were on? 502 number, please maintain your background, please. We are having a lot of interruption coming there. Are you there? 302 number, 203 number from Connecticut.
Yeah, 203. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, brother. So this is the thing. I see a lot of people coming on asking the vice president to resign, and people saying just got it done. So let me tell you something. This is politics, Liberian politics, right? The president and the vice president probably may have misunderstanding, not directly from the president doing. It probably could be people around the president according to the vice president too. So personally, she and George, I don't know. They don't have problem. Maybe it's people that are pushing stuff or making things to clear. But just the good news. Joel Howard will stay on the ticket. Joel Howard and George will be re-elected.
Are you driving?
I'm about to park here.
Yeah, because I'm not sure whether my audience are hearing you, but I want to make sure you're in a safe, doing it safely anyway.
Yes, no, I got a hand free. I'm hand free. But I'm parking now. I'm parking. So can you hear me clear?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead.
Okay. So this thing, Joel Howard Taylor and President Weir will be re-elected 2023. Joel Howard Taylor is not going anywhere. The coalition is the coalition. I can understand the feelings of other people that think that because of the interview with Ronnie CA, it has bring a big split within CDC. No, the party, the collaboration is still strong. Go back and watch the build up to February 15. Watch the build up to February 15, and you will see that this government and this president, the entire government, is still popular.
Yeah.
Like the other caller said, when you leave Monserrato is charged politically. When you leave Monserrato, all those things don't matter. The things that people see outside of Monserrato is this president is doing much when it comes to rural connectivity, when it comes to houses for poor people. Those are the things that are playing outside there. In the capital city, what is playing in the capital city is the similar thing from the election time up to now. That is still playing. So
in other words, before I go to the next person, it's premature for people to rule out the CDC or the coalition, like others are suggesting that it's all done with the president. It's premature to come to that decision, correct?
Very much premature. Very much premature. Just how people talk on the CDC side that Alexander Kumi, it was done for the collaboration, the CPP, but we saw Alexander Kumi's delivery the rebuttal to the president's speech. It tells you the CCP is still standing. So people don't understand when these things happen. People need each other to survive.
That rebuttals, it was even weak. Maybe I will try to dwell on that. It was very weak. I do not see the pieces and puzzles in that rebuttals there. But that's a different ballgame. Okay, let me bring in these other guys here. Thank you very much. 502 number 4102. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Stanley George, and I call from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, Mr. George. All right, Mr. George, thank you for being part of this conversation. My guess you've been listening to our talking point here this evening, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I came late, but later on, I try to get some of the points.
Yeah, all right. People calling on the VP to resign while the VP hosted the press conference with front page Rodney C. It is damaging. This relationship cannot no longer be cemented. The trust is not there. Some are suggesting the best thing for the VP to walk away. Others say no, the VP should stay there. But I'm wondering it. I am not happy. My ultimate goal here, I want to see the president and the vice president of my country. It doesn't matter what I support who, but in any country where you see the vice president of certain president, there's no coordination. That's dangerous. I don't know if people know the implications of that, but we just want to talk here. But let me just bring you here. You are entitled to your own views and opinion as well. Do you think the trust and confidence between the both it can no longer be continuing? Do you think it's odd? No one can trust one another again?
No, Mr. So I would say a big no to that. Like you said, to see the president and the vice president being, having some beef and stuff like that, it's not a good sign in a way. But to come to a point where we will say that she should resign, or it have come to the point where there is no more that intermarriage between them anymore, I don't believe in that. I don't think we have been real to ourselves. I think the interview that she had with Romney C, it was just like she was trying to express some of her, things that she had in mind when it comes to the relationship between she and the president. That which I cannot say she was wrong for doing that, okay? Because she was expressing herself.
Right.
But there is still ground that they can mention.
Expressing yourself. Let me ask you, my guess surmise you listened to that interview. Was there anything offensive against the president or the government damaging for which people are perhaps thinking in that direction to what you listened to?
No, Mr. So what I listened to her saying, it was just like she was expressing dissatisfaction. Because if you listen to what she said, like maybe people might be going to the president and telling the president something about her. And then secondly, she had met with the president in numerous occasions where they went to meet to talk about some of these things. And the president would tell people that they don't have anything, he don't have anything personal against the vice president, which is her. Okay? That's what he always say. So we cannot just sit down and just say, the president and the vice president, that they can no longer hold, they can no longer make it so the vice president should resign. No, okay. If you look at her, you can see in her that she still stands to like or amend whatever situation between she and the president. So we should not come out to say that. And then I listen to 2 or 3 callers saying, President he's not well known in Liberia, just in Maserati, blah, blah, blah.
It doesn't sound.
I don't believe in that. That's false and misleading. Okay? It is false and misleading because, like one caller said, only in Central Monrovia or Maserati, you have those or the country being politically charged. But like outside of that, if you step out, there is totally different thing you're going to see outside.
In fact, the whole thing here, not to cut of both the government and the oppositions, their emphasis and all of their strategy is just strictly to get hold of the capital, which of course it has good chunk of the vote. But what becomes the other 14 political subdivision? Nobody's going there. I've been seeing the opposition, they have not waged any effective campaign. I don't see the sort of preparation. I don't want to jump the gun here, but I'm not just saying enough to say, look, they are expanding out here. And so for someone to rule out, to come to a conclusion, well, that's the end of the CDC or George Weah, I just think that's just a little bit over the top.
Yeah, Mr. So exactly what you're just saying. You know the reason here is I don't know how the politicians in Liberia take Monrovia to want to be Liberia. Okay, I don't think I don't get it because Monrovia is not Liberia. Monrovia is just part of Liberia. So all of that political stuff they're doing, they feel that Montserrat is the only place that they can get hold of, and they are lying to themselves. Okay, because you cannot, like I said, we are in the era of the 21st century. Democracy at the time. Way back is not what we're having now. Okay, we should be able to participate in everything. Even I'm a candidate, right? And I lose the election. I should be able to help the president have win in that election. Whatever promise I have made to my people to be able to implement some of those things that it will give me the better hand that coming next or election I may stand a better chance. But they are not doing it.
Okay, quickly here. Yeah, quickly here, you can stay there, but before I bring in the person here, other people are quickly now, they are making judgment as to whether the vice president is still asset or no asset here. Let me get your take here. Is the vice president still asset to this coalition comes 2023?
Exactly, Mr. So I would say this. The vice president is still access to the coalition, and the three political parties, they are assets.
Okay. We're going to be coming on the opposition. It's not just all about the government, because I see the opposition to be another disaster force based on things that we're seeing happening and lack of preparation. And I'm going to be talking about the potential in less than 9 months, 10 months, the race ahead, the senatorial race. Only one person is perhaps more or less walking the political wall to keep himself in the spotlight, doing it strategically. But let me just come to this caller here, 515 number 4171. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you calling from? 515 number, are you there? 4771.
Yeah, this is KZ Emmanuel Paul. I'm calling from Iowa.
Okay, KZ Emmanuel Paul. You used to the politics in Liberia, whether it's divisive, whether it is selective, or whatever way direction is in. People are making a lot of judgment here, pre-calculated to pre-judgment here now. I just do not know from which context they are coming to that conclusion here. But help me out here. You contested in also a tough race yet, and we are almost about to get there. What are we missing here, knowing what you know and knowing the politics of Liberia that I see so very divisive and dangerous?
Thank you so much, my own senior brother, Mr. Sianso, for this question. But let me just bring something to your attention. You know, people who know, if you stay with Liberian politics and the way they play Liberian politics, you will know exactly how the Liberian politics look like. You know, the recent politics in Liberia, especially between the opposition and the ruling class, you know, that has been a trend in our country since the early Johnson Sirleaf government, you know, came to power, and that was the kind of political trend that have been introduced. So from that time, people took that kind of, you know, politicking and then going along with it through. The oppositions, they remain opposition, and they see the ruling establishment, any other thing they will do, since they want power, sometimes they will be able to come up with a lot of criticism and so forth. So I expect the CDC, because the CDC that been in opposition for 12 years before coming to power, I expect the CDC to know the games involved when it comes to the opposition, you know, working, because they've been in a game long time. So I also expect them to know the games.
Are they cognizant of that game you are referring to as we speak, based on your own understanding and seeing what is unfolding? Are they tight on top of that game? You think so?
No, they are not. I mean, President Weah is not playing to the game. It's not really playing to the game.
I'm not even convinced whether even the oppositions, and so people, they're going to be a big political surprises again. I'm not even trusted the doings of the opposition. Their calculations is not in place. They too do have a lot of incoherent messages yet. I'm not seeing the sort of effective strategy they are waging. I'm not seeing the solution because, and you will come to your point, case there, because if the opposition is always in the business to criticize, and they cannot provide tangible solutions or as an alternative to the CDC-led government, and only just to say, well, maybe the president bought 12,000 food, I would just see those as innuendos and sort of makeup. What I think Liberians are interested in, and people that we talk to, is, look, if I have this dry bread and I'm eating it, you're trying to get it out of me. I want to know, if you take this dry bread from me, what are you going to bring? A bread that's going to have sardines to lunch on me and all of that. But if you can't put forward those alternatives as to how you're going to give it, so then the question comes to mind, will say, well, it better to be with the angel that you know than the devil that you have not seen. Is the opposition, are they articulating, are they putting forward that sort of message to the electors in Liberia?
No, the first thing is that the king there is a soul. He is doing everything to make CDC unpopular, and so they will send all those messages. They are not thinking about coming up with solution for now, but the only thing is to demonize CDC, to make them ugly to the Liberian people, and the CDC also will not take precaution to join the game they are playing. At the end of the day,
is that a workable strategy? If that's the direction the opposition wants to move in, is there a workable strategy?
But that have been the game. So you see the result they got for Darrell Dillon. Darrell Dillon who are not winning election, especially when it comes to CDC. The CDC had no yesterday to put up Kennedy against Darrell Dillon.
This is the contentious part of that now. I'm here getting some information, so we yet to establish the authenticity of this information. But we are hearing they are in the process to recruit people, and one of the persons potentially to contest for Moserado to see as a viable person to compete against Darrell Delonte is more likely Louis Gawala Brown, who is a former Minister of Finance during the Helen Johnson Sirleaf government, and I formerly the representative to the EU here. If that is the case, because I see Darius Dillon is the only person that I see still keeping himself in the spotlight politically and calculatively, working a fine line to get himself used to the electors and to keep the electors reminded. You see him doing this a little live video going here and there and under the disguise of thank you, is to tell these people, you know what, I told you I'm going to turn the light on, even though I'm not seeing some of the things that I want to see in terms of by putting forward legislations and working with other people. I'm not seeing that happening. But what he's trying to do is to have the people reminded, I did not desert you. I did not walk away with you. Because he knows he's there on an interim basis. So October is just first on hand. So he's gradually still trying to making sure, because he got a good vote from Moserado. So who can CDC? Mona Youngblood said, well, she was not there. I'm not sure whether CDC is going to feature her against Darius Dillon. Polita Weir was no match to Darius Dillon. And so I don't know. Can CDC regain that position? Because that's the very first test.
No, the first thing is a soul. That's what I'm telling you. They don't understand the game. They don't understand the game well. They don't play. They don't work in the process. 2009, the by-election that brought Geraldine Doe-Sherry to bowl.
Right.
And Geraldine Doe-Sherry flocked Dillon in that election. In fact, Dillon did not even come 10th or 4th.
Right.
And we participated into our election. We supported Geraldine Doe-Sherry for our party line, CDC. At that time, I was staying in the student community and have our block. So Darrell understood again. That's why you see Darrell continually playing on the mind of the Liberian people, and also trying to do everything to the expectation of the Liberian people to say that he's transparent, he has credibility. And because the Senate, the problem of the national legislature for now is a credibility issue. Liberian people are frustrated in the national legislature because they are saying that they don't have credibility.
So do you think, before I go to the next person, do you think Darius Dillon have effectively sold himself out to the electors to see the guy, a game changer guy, as far as so far you are concerned with the little that we have seen with his, since he has occupied that position? Do you think he has done that effectively?
Oh, Darrell is doing well. To admit, myself, I'm a critical person, but I'm still admiring and Darrell Dillon is doing well.
Okay.
a
Okay.
secular institution. But
Okay.
let me just a little bit comment on the issue of the vice president and the president divide.
Okay. Go ahead quickly before I bring in my next
Yeah.
caller.
Oh, yeah, next caller will come. The issue of the vice president and the issue of the president divide. Let me just tell you something. There are two ways of street, two-way street in the process. The vice president can hold on to that position to be an embarrassment to the government. Number one, the vice president can also resign. If she wish, she can resign, and then if she resign, also it will be a success to CDC. There are two ways.
So it's a losing game. it's a losing game. You take it when you win. You take it when you want. So she's in a volatile situation. So why would she even want to resign?
Do I understand the game? She will not resign. Trust me, she will not resign. She has been advised by good politicians. She will not resign. She will not resign. The reason she will not resign is if she resigns, George Weah will not reconcile with her. Let me just tell you. But if she resigns, then it will be the happiness of CDC. That indeed, we did not tell her to leave. She will not resign. But she will be there until they go time for election, and they say, okay, we put you down. I mean that CDC went and put Joel down. So it will be an issue. Obviously, will start running away all over. So Joel will also be there to be an embarrassment to the government, and they will not want to see that say in that direction. So it will also, the president, we are unpopular. He got to work on that. He got to work on that.
Okay. All right, KZ Myers Poor, thank you so much for your take. Okay, let me see here. 215 number 1595. I believe this is Antonin Gay from PA. Mr. Gay, are you there?
I'm here, sir, and I'm doing well. How you doing, sir?
Okay, good. So we have long talked about the government, and you are one of the oppositions. So let me poke in the eyes of the opposition here. Is the opposition making adequate preparations? There are 15 positions at stake in the 15 political subdivisions. I'm talking about the senatorial race. We get 9-10 months approximately, if my mathematics is correct here, in October. And people are saying, oh, no money, no money. That is a dead strategy if opposition to count on that. I don't know why would you want to rule out that there will be no money. There are friendly government, friendly people out there that can underwrite the course of the election. But, Mr. Gay, help me out here. You are within the opposition column here, right? Is the opposition making that sort of preparation? The only person that I'm seeing in the spotlight and keeping in closeness with the electors is Dara Dillon. So let me acknowledge our senior photographer of LPR, Mr. A. Nudut Jeru, there in Philadelphia. I want to welcome you to Jeanette Menyet, Augustine Tarawali, all of you beautiful people and followers of LPR Glorious World. So, Gay, we have learned always on the eyes of the government, the opposition. I still don't see that sort of a momentum of foes. People will say we still have time. But I want to know some of the candidates that will be coming forward now for the opposition to contest. That could be a potential prelude to 2023.
Yeah, voting process is going on. They have not put a strict forward voting process about that. Individual who are coming forward, but before March 31st, there will be a clear cut what the vetting process will be, and those candidates will have to go through that. If there, for instance, if in the county there's 2-3 candidates who want to run on the party ticket, they will have to do a mini primary, and then that candidate will be selected. For now.
So, from your understanding, you happens to be one of the executive of the ANC in the diaspora. Right? Their coalition, the coalition, even though there is no specific stipulations as to how the merger is going to be, like we're still waiting to see that. But are you saying they're going to have like a type primary in those places, or are they going to do a random selection?
If for instance in Moserado, if we have, we have not seen anybody from the opposition side who wants to challenge Dillon, and it's also certain that Dillon will win the re-election to have his full 9 years to be a senator. I don't see anybody from the CDC party who they can bring. Even they bring young blood, that will be. I would rather they bring young blood. I hope they can bring her, and that would be an easy ride for us. I hope they bring. I dare the CDC to bring her because she seems I don't, they attacked her and whatnot. But I would be so glad if CDC make that, mistake to say, oh yeah, they want to bring young blood.
There's no question this gun race was really tough on CDC, but the part of that was they did not put they never had a effective candidate. And Liberia politics is also attached to name political identity. That was one of the key factors. Darius Dillon kept himself in the eyes of the media, and he makes himself known. He makes himself visible. He's sort of a political satire who always make fun of himself, who always put himself in the shoe of the people. So that works out for him.
He's not afraid of the media. He's not afraid of the spotlight. He's not afraid, to be questioned. And he goes in territory that is not, favorable to him, and sit there and have, conversation with people. That's what makes him different. He's really at any time he comes on podcast, he posts his own podcast, and all those different things. So I don't think CDC can put up any candidate that can defeat.
Wow, you're so definitive on that. Okay.
Yeah, because here's the thing. No one forced the man to declare his asset. The very we can give him the offer, he declared.
Was that a genuine? Let's be honest. Was that a genuine asset?
Yeah, it was genuine. And the second thing is the salary. He was not forced to deduct money from his salary to give back to the county, but he did. He already gave back.
Yeah, let's be honest. I have some apprehensions in his actions, which of course is good, and I hope. But Daryl Dillon, maybe help me out. Let Senator Daryl Dillon comes here. I visited in Liberia. When I called, he answered, but since his before even becoming senator, and that's the same thing. The both government, the others that they become selective where to go. He is no. I agree with. I have texted, I have called Darius Dillon millions of times, even before becoming senator, and he sees the message, but he has not just answered our call. So the same behavior of some government officials, that's the same thing with the opposition. They become so selective which network to go to because they want to have a free pass, not to answer questions. Darius Dillon needs to answer some tough questions.
I didn't know you had that difficulty. You saw that when you try to,
He knows me very well. On the eve, one day before returning to Monrovia from Liberia, I called Darius Dillon and he was happy, and I walked to his house in Bannersville and he granted that interview. And before he came, even coming here, he was making an appointment and for some reason, but we will still keep trying. But I think he needs to answer some questions. Being an opposition does not give you a free pass, and because you're opposition, so you are on edge or you are over the situation. No.
I didn't know you tried. I didn't know you tried reaching out and you weren't successful. But like I said, the other time when you told me you wanted to come and interview Mr. Cummings, I made that happen.
Yeah, I must give you the courage. Even though other people wanted to stab it, but it was good because I think these people they stick in public office.
We can touch whatever button we can touch for you to have Mr. Dillon on your show. Mr. Dillon on your show.
I will be glad. I will be glad. The money that was raised here.
That is not a big deal. Senator Dillon is willing to talk to the media. He's not media, he's not afraid of the media. He's media friendly, and so he can come anytime. But I can tell you, CDC will be wasting their time if they can't, work in the interest of the Liberian people. If they want to just worry about Senator Dillon, look, to test the CDC to see if they are popular. And they say,
but why emphasis is always why? I'm not saying solutions, Gay. Gay, before, okay, now.
They can stand ground 2023. If they can't beat Dillon, that means they cannot win the re-election 2023. Simple as that.
So Dillon is the only stumbling block for the opposition. What happens to the rest of the 14 what happens to the other 14 political subdivisions?
He's the only one when it comes to challenging him. Instead of them speaking on the issue, they talk about bringing, YS certificate. They talk about bringing high school diploma.
You have argued that same point when he was in your case. Okay, hold on 1 second, Anthony. That's the whole thing. All of these the politics. Okay, 267 number 5983. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Pastor, I'm here.
Okay. I believe you spoke before. So then just hold on. Let me bring in a 98 something and then we'll come back to you. 980. Are you there? 87760.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, Ty. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Julian State, calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. Thank you for being part of it. You been following the conversation this evening?
Yeah, I've been following the conversation, and I mean, there's very good discussion going on. Where I have little issue, like the last caller was saying,
Mm,
and you was trying to walk him, like there's some things that Daryl Delon have been doing that not traditional in our country.
right.
Nobody to share his money. Nobody forcing to declare his access, but it's something he's doing that of the known. We haven't seen it before.
Right.
And he keeping himself into the spotlight. So we should commend him. And you need to commend him.
I
Because I
agree.
know you to be a very fair person. That's why I listen to your broadcast.
Mm.
But when you telling, oh, was it fair? Was it this? Yes, let's commend him first and then find his flaw and try to help him fix it. So he's a very smart guy. I think he's a very smart. I wasn't a big fan of him the whole Elling time, but then he drove his way into politics and talking. You know, he make people like him because he's speaking on something that haven't been done. Like I was a guy was asking Mona Youngblood, you've been senator or representative all these years. Have you shared your salary? Have you done this? Don't go after him for doing good.
I
In
understand.
Liberia, people blame people. Oh, because he want to be senator, that's why he's doing good. At the end of the day, he's doing good.
Okay.
At the end of the day, he's doing the right thing. So we
Right.
should applaud him.
Okay, he's
You know,
making
we
it.
should
Okay,
applaud him.
I will
And
put it
let
in
me
this
speak on the vice
context.
president issue.
Mhm.
Let me make a comment on the vice president issue. A lot of people saying, "Oh, she should resign." She's not going to resign. If you
Okay.
know Joelle Howard Taylor, she's a very bright politician. She's a smart woman, and she shouldn't resign. And the president should is the ball is in his court to make it right, because like the last call I said, it's going to hurt him either way or another. The ball is in Joelle Howard court. Joelle
So
Howard can go and sit down and send it and say, "Hey, I'm not going to put this on the floor." And who can you blame her? You not treat her, you
oh,
know, she just
but
got to
she
raise her
started.
power.
She
But
started
I think
already. She started already. Like you know what? And of course, that has she began to exert her authority and the positions of function as president of the Senate by actions of the pro tem that did not meet her concerns. So I said, no, this is not going to happen. So, but
okay,
do
but
you will they
let me come
push
back to
her?
this to you.
Mhm.
Let me come back to this for you. With all the seditions
Mm.
that say, oh, she want to overthrow the president, she want to disrupt the president. The 2 years that she stayed quiet, the 2 years she was silent, the 2 years that she didn't say nothing. What do you say about that? I think this is a woman that wanted to work with this government, that wanted to work with the president. So she did everything in her power to make this work. It did
I,
not work, and she spoke out.
I,
Everybody when your
I
clock
don't
is against the wall, you
understand.
have to speak out.
Exactly. I don't understand why people that said why she decided. I think she, to some level of extent, she exercised tolerance and patience. And I'm telling you because
Exactly.
and when I got to know that this was really real, that when I had the opportunity to sit with her, and it was very strange for somebody who occupies the second higher political office to say that I do not want politics. Even though I forcibly asked that question, it is a right to pivot and to find way to maneuver around the questions. It's my job to do that. And she effectively did that. And I think part of that was trying to find a resolution, to find solution to the whatever inside things that were happening. And it took a long time before speaking out. That's what I really want to talk to Regna Sia to, whether it was her that
Exactly. So
reached out.
we should commend her. We are Liberian.
I
As
don't see
Liberian,
why
we
people
haven't
are
seen
mad.
this.
So why people are mad with her that I don't see the damaging things she said. I don't know whether
She
other than
did.
is true until myself I can have the time to
And
talk to her.
be honest with you, some people were also mad at her for not speaking because
Exactly.
in the interview she still protect the president. She still tried to protect. Oh, I don't think it's him. I think it's people going back. I think it's people. This is a smart woman, and we should commend her and say, listen. Yeah, there is a problem. You took 2 years to speak.
If you look
You
at,
know what
I
I'm
have
saying?
the
So we should
video
commend
here,
her.
but if you look at the facial expressions from that lady when Rockney see her, look at people's facial expressions and some of the things that she was saying. As she was saying this, looking into the camera, you could see her like, okay, I have to say it. And I see some authenticity in terms of, at some point in time, I wanted to resign because maybe XYZ was going on. But do you still see her to viable? Or if CDC were to shop her at the end of the day comes 2023, what would be the political ramification?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you right now as we speak. There's a caller that said, oh, Morovia. Right now as we speak, George Weah should do whatever it takes in his if he want to be in politics for a long time, make it right with the vice president. Because let me tell you something, the MPP is a party to contend with that people don't understand, that still stand. That like the guy said earlier, they're all ex-rebel party. They are very loyal people. They are very loyal, and she controls her party. So George Weah want to stay or do whatever it takes in this election. The opposition is coming at him. They are collaborating. He needs to walk to Joel Howard Taylor and say, let's make peace. I don't like making peace, but in the best interest of the of the CDC, the Congress of Democratic Change, this have to go this way. Because let me tell you something, Joel Howard Taylor not going to lose. She's not going to lose. I can tell anybody. She can stay on and be like embarrassed and do her job. Like people say embarrassment. No, she's just going to do her job. Go there, listen.
Okay, let me flip it.
I'm not approving this.
Okay, let me flip it around, and you have you are at liberty if you want to answer before I go to 704. Do you think with all of this here, do you think she will still go back on the ticket with the CDC or the coalition?
I think and she's a very conservative woman. For her to stay 2 years without speaking, I think she still support this party. She still support this ticket. I think they should rush to her, and if they do right, I think she will stay on the ticket. But if they don't do right, she's a very smart woman. She will walk away from them, and it will be their loss. Like the other guy said, George Weah wouldn't have become president if MPP wouldn't have collaborate and Prince Johnson would have come out. If he don't understand that, then I don't think they are ready for the next 2023 because they're going to lose miserably like they lose against Dara DeLong. And if you understand during that senatorial campaign, Joel Howard Taylor didn't say a word. She was never invited to none of the rally. She never spoke out. MPP never voted. Guess what? They lose miserably. It was a statement. If they don't see that, they're going to lose again.
Lose miserably. Is the opposition, are they doing enough as the proclaimed George Weah-led government is not doing? Are they putting forward solutions, or is just a blame game, complaint game, and not finding alternatives out to the current political situation, economic situation? The cohesiveness on the part of the opposition, is it there enough, or they are just beating the drum of complaint?
For me, I haven't seen enough. Cummings rebuttal, like you said, it was very weak.
It was weak. Not even lukewarm. It was weak.
It was so weak, I couldn't believe it. I'm not against Cummings, but I just think they could have done better. They knew he was coming with this statement. It's like I listened to you talk, then I go respond. I didn't say nothing that would motivate the Liberian
Their response was so repetitive. You said the man is not doing X, Y, Z, and you kept repeating this thing. If he's not doing it, if I'm coming to give a rebuttals, and we have seen here that when the president gave a State of the Union here, and they said Democrats also person going to respond, we see a concise message anti some of the ills of the government and put forward the solution. But I don't see that forceful. That's my opinion. That's my view. Maybe other people can see it differently.
Let me make one last comment before I go on Cummings. I'm not a big fan of Cummings because let me tell you something. Like you say, they complain. Let everybody understand, and we say, oh, Cummings came from a business background. Okay, he came from this big business background. My problem, the reason why I don't support Cummings is this: where was Cummings? Okay. The private sector in Liberia is dead. It doesn't exist. And you come from the big business background. Okay? If I'm wrong, somebody tell me something. You come from the big business background, working with Coca-Cola. What have you done for the Liberian people in the private sector when you didn't want to become president? So this is the patriotism. None of these people are patriots to the country Liberian. I live in America. America fought one of the deadliest civil war. When they got together, they were patriots in this country. These people built the country. Liberia, we need
I feel sometimes very uncomfortable before I go to this point because this is the games of the politicians that they used for which some people they buy zinc. And instead of asking these politicians, they want to see the sort of reward before. So I just don't know the basis of that question in terms of what have you done before you want to calm down. But again, it's up there. But I think we need a lot of educations to the electors in terms of how they're going to be making their decision, because we are what we're talking here now. Everything has been judged. We are, but the freaking Senate, the freaking House of Representatives, the both houses of Representatives, that's a separate branch of government that should provide check and balances on the executive. And these people here, they are majority in the opposition. And they are saying they haven't enveloped. So then who are they? Who are they representing?
In the Liberian politics, there is no opposition after election.
So Bella-driven people. Okay, let me bring this other caller here. I'm running out of time here a little bit here. 704 number 1818. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Alfonso. How are you?
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Ben Sanvey. How are you?
Okay. Who?
This is Ben Sanvey.
Oh, wow. Good to have you here.
My man, I just call in the normal way. I've been listening. But you
so we want the normal way.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just got to. We've been following.
Okay.
Keeping the attendance up.
Okay, Mr. Sanvit, where are we going? Why are we going wrong in this sort of a disco here? It's everybody partially expressing to the disenchantment and as to how their government or even the opposition are doing their things here. Where are we going wrong here that we're missing the mark?
Well, look, I think Alfonso, we have a country, and I want to take it from a little different angle. One of the things that I think we have been afraid of in our country is to have uncomfortable conversations. And I think the time has come for us to start to have uncomfortable conversations.
Right.
When you look at where our country is, when you look at the issues that are affecting our country, you begin to understand that it is systemic. It is within our DNA as a people to have to try to shove everything or push everything under the carpet. I'd like to give a small little example, and I hope I have a little bit of time.
No, I think like I will have to find special time good that you hear now.
I know. Because that's why I say let me call. So just break the ice, because I knew that's why I was going to do so that you would want to have a special time to grill me and to tell me.
Not to grill you, but to have because when you guys down there to have access.
But I have no issues. I have no problem talking. I have no reason to run away from having a conversation about my country. I'm a patriot. I believe that I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I love my country.
Right.
So I have no fear whatsoever in addressing the issues. But like I was saying to you, just for the sake of this conversation,
right?
It's like the example. You know how like in the Liberian family unit, it's just like how you have a prevalence of a huge scourge of rape going on right now in the country, right? You have a lot of things that's going on. You know how sometimes even in a family setting in Liberia, where something goes wrong, and then they say, oh, let's have family meetings, and let's not discuss the dirty things outside. But guess what? Those things ultimately see the light of day. They ultimately see the light of day because someone will leave from there not satisfied. Maybe if it's 2 years, if it's 4 years, if it's 5 years. It's what we see going on in Liberia.
Correct.
It's exactly what we see going on in Liberia. When you look at where this government is, the whole world knows that I was one of the people who supported the president in the second round. Why are people upset with President Weah? Why did I break away from the government? Why did I come out?
I'm not sure, Mr. Sanvi, what are all of those things going to be disclosed. I know this is a cell phone here. I really want us to have an extensive and in-depth conversations on this here.
No problem.
Because I think we're going to do our audience unjust if we just water it down the road and just give them dessert instead of preparing the full dinner. We would do that, yeah. Okay. But let me get a hint on that. Why was that political twist in the first place?
What you mean, my decision?
Yes.
Well, no, obviously because I'm one of those people who would not sit supinely and see wrong and countenance or encourage it. I'm sorry. Listen, my vote or my support is not a blank canvas to do the wrong thing. No, I'm sorry. In fact, because I supported you, I feel I have the moral ground and the moral standing to be able to question you. You know? So I know at the end of the day where our country is. I see what the issues we are having. I'm not a reservoir of ideas. I don't have a monopoly of ideas.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I know one thing is that we all love our country and we want to see our country do well. That's why you are having this conversation.
Correct.
And you continue to have. You're not. Nobody's paying you to do this. It's purely love of country.
Right.
It's love of country is you wanting to put the issues at the forefront so our people can have an opportunity to have a chance to talk. That's
so, Mr. Senvi, Mr. Senvi, other might be arguing did Senvi he did his due diligence in terms of the decision making, or is because there is no some sort of political reward, is that why he's turned his back? Those are very volatile questions. How can you square that out with this limited time that we have now?
There was, listen, first of all, I'll say this, and I like to be very transparent, and I'll say it clearly. I'm a young man. I'm educated. Listen. If I was serving my country, it would be a plus to my country. I'm not one of those people who feel that I'm too big to do something. But I'll tell you this: the determinations that were made in an election year, the determinations that we all make, right? We make those determinations taking several factors into consideration. Obviously, politics. Obviously, it has to do with interest. Obviously, at the end of the day, but I would want to believe that generally, it has to do with the overall interest of our country. I continue to maintain that in 2017, when the decisions were being made, we all made a commitment that we were going to do. That there was this issue of opposition solidarity, and and all of that. And so, at the end of the day, for some of us, I felt that it was important that we stick to our our original conversations that we had. And then I also had conversations with Mr. Weah. I did. I spoke with then Senator Taylor. I spoke with the people in the CDC.
What did you gather from? What did you gather from there?
Oh no! Listen. It was. Listen, Alfonso. First of all, it was no secret that the country in 2017 was in a state of change. There was a wave of change blowing. In fact, every opposition party that ran in 2017 ran on the issue of change, making sure that the Unity Party did not get a third term. That was the mantra for the opposition in 2017. So that was what even led us to go to Ganta.
So, Mr. Senvi, talking about that change the decision from the Liberian people based on what was produced by the electorates, do you think they went over the board, or do you think there was some sort of they did not do their work, or was George Weah, now president, was seen as the real agent of change? Because there were a lot of big names involved into the politics, that were involved in the 2017, but surprisingly, Liberian took a different turn. So how can we make that up?
No, Mr. Alfonso, but there were several factors that led to Mr. Weah's winning. I mean, I think we like you say, I think you are right. It probably would do us more justice to maybe have a whole show.
Yes, definitely. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There were several things that led us to where we are today as far as Mr. Weah becoming president. And it's something that we can have a conversation about, and it's something that we should talk about, because you know what, at the end of the day, it's about our country, and we want to see our country move forward.
Okay. You know what? Let me leave this here. I don't want to get the juice out of this whole conversation yet, and I believe that's your number here. I will call you, and I will do it as soon as possible when I get off air here this evening for us to set up something where we're going to go into a no-match commission or referee discussion, and then we're going to have an honest conversation, which, of course, I have no doubt that you're going to do. Well, thank you for chipping in here. But I will go to all of the numbers here. Now I'm trying to wrap up, and I'm going to give people one minute, but you can still be there, Mr. Senvita. You were going to be the last person, or he gone off. Okay. 502 number 4102. Are you there? 502-4102. Okay. Okay, 267 number 5983. Are you there? 267 5983. Are you there? All right. Airplane can blow home. All right. 908 number 8760.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. I wonder it was coming from my end here. The person calling back. It looked like that was my fault. So it looked like not hearing. Okay, yet. 980 number. Go ahead.
No,
Quickly.
I'm still here, Alfonso. I'm here, 5983.
Yeah, okay. Let it 919 something go and then you will come back before I wrap up. Okay, 980. Go ahead. What's your closing point suggestion here? Let us put forward. Oh, it was my fault. So everybody calling back. I'm so sorry, gentlemen. I apologize. Yeah, I think the phone number's like. All right, hold on, you back there. Let me just go to the.
I went off the line.
Yeah, I think. Okay, 908. What's your recommendation to the government, to the opposition as well, for the good of Liberia? That's my ultimate interest. That's my goal.
My recommendation first, I would tell
30 seconds for the opposition, 30 seconds for GOL, and maybe I would say 10 seconds to we who are the citizens, because bulk of this problem that we are facing is we the one too. We also have problem. We talk some ridiculous things that help to create problem in the country. So I think we ourselves need counsel here to go ahead quickly.
Yeah, like I said, my recommendation to George Weah is everything that everybody, everybody, the opposition, people that outside, we the citizen. It's like everybody is advising you what to do. Listen to everybody. You cannot be right and everybody wrong. It just cannot happen. So listen to what's going on. Sit down and lay back and say, okay, when I took over, it was this, and we need to fix this problem. Go back to your vice president, find out what's the problem. This is a marriage you and this woman is in. You understand? For 6 years, okay? She's already come out and tell people outside that, hey, this marriage is on rocky road. But guess what? She sat in this marriage for 2 years and saying nothing. And now Liberian people need to commend her. George Weah need to come out and say, okay, I can fix this problem. The vice president of the Republic of Liberia, George Weah, needs Joel Howard Taylor. He needs Joel Howard Taylor.
Okay.
Back to the opposition. I think the opposition should come up with ideas that we need to get together. It's not just only the government. Go back to your constituency. Go back to the villages. Let's see what we can do as Liberians. Because let me just say something,
right,
Mr. Francis. I went to Liberia. I was in Liberia for 7 months. Okay? Everything is not just the government. I hate to say this for our Liberian people. It was saddening to see that, do you know that Liberia import $1 billion a year in vegetable, pepper, bellabor, these little things. It was saddening to see. Our people are lazy. Our people come to the city and sit down. My own personal story. My mom is a countrywoman from Cape County. She have her brothers and sisters, 5 uncles that I have.
Boy.
These are people that don't read and write, that sit in the city and say, oh, we ain't got no job.
The one being
Your father die and leave you 500 acres of land in Cape County, and you in Monrovia expect to have. What can you work? What ministry can you work? You can't read and write.
The one being
These are the things we need to go in the community and explain to our people. Yeah, I'm telling you, sad, Princess. Because my own uncle, I look at him and ask him and say, you want job from government, you can't read and write. How can the government hire you? When you got land in the city, as a farmer, you will grow up. Your father raised you as a farmer. And you have land in the city. Go back to your land. Let's go back to farming. Let's do something.
Okay, my man. Thank you so much. Something. We're going to leave here. We have and I hope I'm going to have Mr. Ben Savit, who is currently in the USA. He's chipping here this evening. I really appreciate it. I want to have an extensive conversation with him. But thank you so much, my man. And good for your participation. It was nice having you here this evening. Okay. 267 number, do I hear quickly to make use of your advice to GOL, the opposition, and also the electors?
Yeah, thank you. My recommendation to President Weah is this, Alfonso. Let him go to Joel Howard Taylor. Let him call Prince Johnson. Let him call those who supported him. You know that Prince Johnson is not happy. Joel is not happy. Prince Johnson is not happy. And off record, if you call Prince Johnson officials from the country, a hooligan, Prince Johnson did not talk. He never participated in the country meet at all. And he's now happy. To the politician, to the opposition, all of the opposition should have the Darius Dillon. Darius Dillon is the only one person among thousands of gravel ends. If all of them can behave the Darius Dillon, and he kept saying, if all of us can collect at least 5,000 a month to help running hospital, to help JFK, to help TB, to help Ganta, to help Jackson Hebdo Hospital in Nima County.
They should contribute what?
I believe we will do better.
Is that people should contribute what?
$5,000.
They should
if we can take, if the senators can take $5,000 out of their pay and use it for
what I want to see, which is a very good, which is a very good step, but I want to see a piece of legislation that will make it out of a law and not just few people. So what I want Senator Dillon, if I had a chance to interview him, to go extra mile to make the case to people who disagree with him, so they will have a piece of legislation that we can have it as a standing law. He is doing it now, but what rest of the 102 or the other 40 some old lawmakers?
Liberians, Liberians, our eyes are not open. This is the reason why
I don't know when their eyes will open, but me out of time. 172 years old as a nation, sovereign nation. When you out to be opened, come on, stop it.
Our eyes will be open. Our eyes will be open when we elect the tangible and responsible people.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 502, go ahead. What's your advice to the government, to the oppositions, and us as ordinary citizens? We have our own obligation to our country as well.
Thank you, Mr. So. I just want to say, first of all, let me start with the government. It's time that the government should, the president, I would say to the president, stop listening to they say, I say, and you say, and we say. Because I would say for the fight, if you want to listen to people coming to you, telling you things, and you cannot make them to come before the person that they're talking about to verify those things in front of them, you are creating a situation where you have problem with everybody that works in your government, or maybe having some differences, You create that kind of environment, and that which, as a president, you don't want to do. Okay, that's part I support this government, though, but you will not want to do that. So if somebody should come to you and say something about the vice president, call the vice president, call that person, explain to you behind closed door in front of that person, so you can be able to cut down the you say, I say, they say thing, because it may not be well for you, because maybe those people who come into you to give you some wrong information, it may not be right. There might be people that will be against you, but to create problems so you can fall, you can have problems with your people, so you can be able to lose ground, and then at the end of the day, these same people who bring the use as a thing will be victorious. So that's my advice to the president. Second, to the opposition, it's not time for us to sit down and try to bomb off this administration or even this administration that will come up. If you are in opposition and you lost the election, whatever the position you vie for, go back. Those promises that you made to your people, go and implement some. If you cannot even do all, but work with the government, work with the person that took over the government, so that we can have a good country, a good nation that we all can boast of. And to us, the private citizens, we cannot just put everything on the government. We have to create the means of helping our brothers and sisters. Okay? We can create that job. If you look here in America, those big companies around here is owned by private citizens, not the government just doing things, everything for the citizens themselves. No, you have plenty of means of doing it. So we should be able to help our private citizens to help our nation. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, my callers and participants, those of you tweeting online, I want to thank you so much for being part of this program. That's what we do here at Liberia Public Radio, to give voice, express your views and opinions about your government, about your country, about your neighborhood, and about your officials. But what we do share, to whatever expressed on this network, is not the views and opinions of the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but we facilitate these conversations. I want to thank Mr. Ben Savvy. He's one of the guys in the opposition for chipping in here this evening. I will try to reach out with him for us to have an extensive conversation. And that's why we like to keep it safer. Our ultimate goal as LPR is to expand through the political subdivisions of Liberia. Monrovia is just minute of the Republic of Liberia. And so we do not just only do it. So now, for those of you in the various counties, do us a favor. You can send me inbox, if you know of these local radio stations. We want to try to some sort of partnership to see what is happening outside of Monrovia. To give you a gist on some of these issues, there are so many social, political, and economic issues that are weighing down the economic growth and development of the country. As the result, all of those are placed on government. Liberia Public Radio correspondent in Central Liberia in the city of Bangat, Bertin Tino, went out to talk to people in the community and some of the challenges faced. The disabled community is no exception in how they are working. Take a look at this, courtesy of LP Bertin Tino in Central Liberia in the city of Banga, City, Republic of Liberia.
Go.
Thank you.
In a common form, you are man.
I am not here because I'm happy.
Okay.
But I always say we are being marginalized by local and national government because they are not providing our needs. That's the reason you see me on the gold mine.
Okay.
People say, disabled man, why when you bear child, they say, you disabled person should just be born. Okay, so when you are disabled, then the multiplication, what the Bible says, what the Bible talk about, you are not part of it. So I am here for the sake of my little cake.
You are here because of the sake of your little cakes. Okay, let's see. What is your message? Because where you're working, we are going to go there. We have to understand how you work, how you balance, because you cannot balance well.
Yeah.
What are some of your messages? And let's get the point set up. You people, how many from the disabled community?
Well,
disabled. How many persons here?
We are numerous.
Numerous.
We are numerous. But on this base, we are two here.
Two persons working alongside with well-meaning citizens who are not disabled.
Yeah.
Okay. So, looking at your present condition, what is your message to national government?
My message to national and international government is to help us so that our suffering can reduce.
Go.
Thank you.
In a common form, you are man.
I am not here because I'm happy.
Okay.
But I always say we are being marginalized by local and national government because they are not providing our needs. That's the reason you see me on the gold mine.
Okay.
People say, disabled man, why when you bear child, they say, you disabled person should just be born. Okay, so when you are disabled, then the multiplication, what the Bible says, what the Bible talk about, you are not part of it. So I am here for the sake of my little cake.
You are here because of the sake of your little cakes. Okay, let's see. What is your message? Because where you're working, we are going to go there. We have to understand how you work, how you balance, because you cannot balance well. What are some of your messages? And let's get the point set up. You people, how many from the disabled community?
Well,
disabled. How many persons here?
We are numerous.
Numerous.
We are numerous. But on this base, we are two here.
Two persons working alongside with well-meaning citizens who are not disabled.
Yeah.
All right. We are at the Bototam Mani sector, Kogoya Statutory District. As you can see here, you see the distance. This is the mining area. A lot of our brothers are surviving in order to live. We have many of them here. I'm looking at the distance from your there. So can you please come closer to talk to us, please, sir? There are a lot of citizens. They are here, down here. This is a mining area. Gold mining area, as you can see here. Mining area, as you can see. Yes, my brother, go after them.
Yes.
What is your name?
Dana Joa.
Dana Joa.
Yes.
How many workers you have in this hole, the dig hole here?
I have 20 manpower.
20 manpower?
Yes.
So how much bag of rice you guys eat every day?
We eat, I think, 25 cup of rice every day.
What you think the reason of doing this kind of a job, bossing the rock and putting it to the machine, what you think the cost of it?
Because we didn't have money.
You don't have money?
Yes.
So this is the only solution?
Yes.
So you have family?
I have my family.
How many children do you have?
I have one.
So how they are surviving? They are going to school?
No.
They are not going to school?
Yes.
Why?
Because we didn't have money.
But you're working. People will say you're working.
Yeah, I'm working, but I don't get the money every day.
Every day?
Yes.
So now, what do you think can be the best solution that you're able to get money all the time?
It's not the poor are here, the helper.
How you think the people that here can help you?
The people to work.
To free you to work?
Yes.
So what the people can do to you?
They can help the all of our pit.
All right. We are at the Botota mining sector, Kogoya Statutory District. As you can see here, you see the distance. This is the mining area. A lot of our brothers are surviving in order to live. We have many of them here. I'm looking at the distance from your there.
Okay.
So can you please come closer to talk to us, please, sir?
There you have it.
There are a lot of citizens.
The disabled community that in Bangabon County, where our own Bettin Tinot of the national correspondent of the Liberia Public Radio take a tour. There are a lot of images going to be coming from those places, Bangat, and we hope to expand our activities in other parts of the country to give you a sense of what is happening. And we kept saying this consistently: Monrovia is not the Republic of Liberia. So we believe information should be proportionate. Information should not be disproportionate. And that's what the media industry, every other day, 24 hours around the clock, press conferences, unnecessary one, fruitful one, all types are always going on in Liberia, but nobody knows what's going on in Maryland, in Sano, in Riverside, in Bapolo, in Lofa. We just see news. And our goal as Liberia Public Radio is to have people so that everybody will be able to get a sense of what is happening. Bertintino is still on a mission. He also took time during the shortage of gasoline products in Liberia. He also went in the streets to hear from ordinary users and citizens in Bangat, Bon County. Take a look.
Here we are being difficult. Every promise they made, they cannot fulfill their promise. So we all the promises they made, we never able to live.
So you believe that the government, you said something. You said government.
I'm saying it freely. This government not able the country.
What do you think about this country? If this government not able?
People who would think that it was the country, that the past government would try their best, but the government they are not able.
So like you ranking the past government, the present government. What is the score?
The past government are grading 95%.
2 years with this government, their score.
2 years with the government,
their score.
Are grading 0.
Wow!
Yes.
You grade this government 0?
Yes.
Because today you are under the sun, no gasoline. That's why you saying this?
Not because today I am under the sun. For the past time, my observation on the government didn't have been difficult. So not because I'm under the sun.
What do you think the cost of the government saying that gasoline is in the country, and Total giving the gasoline to you for 640, and your own brothers giving it to you for 1,008, 1,007. Y'all can about
the problem on the government. They always say something, and it can happen.
Okay.
They will say gas in the country. Okay. A gas in the country, besides Total, all the gas stations are suffering for gas. So I can't believe what they are saying.
Okay.
They are lying to us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Your name again?
I'm Brother Joseph B. Molba.
Okay.
Here we have been it's difficult. Every promise they made, they cannot fulfill their promise. So we all the promises they made, we never execute.
So you believe that the government, you said something. You said government.
I'm saying it freely. This government not able the country.
Who you think about this country? If this government not able?
People who would think that it was the country, that the past government were trying their best, but the government they are not able.
So like you ranking the past government, the present government. What is the scope?
The past government are greater than 95%.
2 years with this
government. I agree with him. On the media, yes, gasoline in the country. But what's the gasoline?
Okay.
Was it this money?
Okay, so you believe there's no gasoline in the country?
There's no gasoline in the country. I will tell you.
Why the government say gasoline is in the country?
I can see it.
So because you can see it, so which of those are no gasoline?
From New Canada all the way to Toto. You look at the crowd.
Okay.
Everybody says of gasoline.
All right.
They would live in a type of life. How I love it in LIBERIA. We just for the
Civil War.
Civil War.
Okay. Tell me. 2-3 days from now, what will be your next plan of action?
2 days from now, if things can go on, maybe at the end result, other people will start doing something that will not look fine.
What you think they will be doing? What do you think they will be doing that will not be fine?
Find a vehicle. Find a vehicle that hospital will be closed and everyone will be closed. When you saw get a person need.
Okay.
And whenever you all get a person need, and we want no war, we want nothing in the country. We want peace.
All right.
We need peace in the country.
Okay. Okay, so finally, before we leave you, gasoline should be how much?
Gasoline can be $6. I don't have problem with it. I will pay the $6. I will pay the $6 for the gasoline. But that gasoline will be really on the street. I'll buy it.
Okay, thank you. Your name again?
I'm with the DSAK community called Dumba Fire.
What's your name?
Anyway, I'm Prince Quena.
Okay, you live on LIBERIA Public Radio TV. Let's hear from you.
In the country, yeah, I agree with him. On the media, yes, gasoline in the country. But what's the gasoline?
Okay.
Was it this money?
Okay, so you believe there's no gasoline in the country?
There's no gasoline in the country. I will tell you.
Why the government say gasoline is in the country?
Okay.
I can see it.
So because you can see it, so which
our own Bertin Tino is in the street during the recent gasoline situation in Liberia that's engulfed the nation. And so part of our mission is to make news proportionate, that news is not just only for the elite, the politicians, or the stakeholders. We need to go out there to the everyday Liberians who are feeling the pains of today's situation in the country. And I'm a living testimony of the gasoline issue. Because during the week, during the gasoline fragile, my own mother in Grangida County was sick, trying to get her to Monrovia. There was no way that she could get to Monrovia. There was no way that my brother, I could even go. Despite he have a car, but there was no way to get a gasoline. What was the alternative? Have to get her to neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire, Giclo, where she was hospitalized to be treated and funneled in her own born town. These are serious issues. So just imagine within that short time of that gasoline fragile, imagine how many people, how many persons that was affected from that situation, and who is responsible for that. So if you were sick, if you were not close within the proximity of Ivory Coast border, and you cannot get your ill person to a nearby hospital, even though maybe you have the money, you have the funds, but there's no way that you can get that person, it means something else will have happened. So the challenges in our countries are real, but our conversations, our tone, must also give rise in finding solutions to this problem. I am Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. So I want to thank you so much for being part of this evening's conversation. Our job here is to make the news proportionate and not disproportionate. Everybody must be heard, their voices, regardless where they are. And this is why Liberia Public Radio is working aggressively to be fully represented in the 15 political subdivision to give you a sense. If you're from River Sales, you're from Sando, you're from River G, you're from Bapolu, you will get to know what is happening. In that sense, it will give you a sense as a citizen, as a son and daughter from those regions to know what to do. I want to thank you so much for being part of this program and have a pleasant evening. And thank you for sharing your evening with me. Bye-bye.
Under the G Morris Nakama King, the 4th time. Yeah, Rado Kubabo, King Devepo, Rado Kubabo, Messiah, Devepo, Rado Kubabo, Rubada Pebo, Rado Kubabo, Devepo, Rado Kubabo, Dead one, Rado Kubabo, Messiah, Devepo, Rado Kubabo, Usuka Pierre. Dia kwa isebo wala safuta yako kuaka yako kosolabo ya sebo wala safuta yako kuaka yako kosolabo yaka ida kada meno wa eja meno waya kuba eja mesade wodo kuto yogo mekwala wo mekwa jota dabo yako sawolo Eja no ye boye, eja me sadia dogo ko aye ko dobe. No maga kakaze pa, ye unde kusa no